Welcome to Fragments of the Future. You can see behind me Trellick Tower from 1972 by Erno Goldfinger. I'm here in West London. It's windy. The camera's about to be blown over. My hair looks stupid. Let's go and find out what's happening. So Erno Goldfinger and his wife lived at the top of Balfron Tower, which is the one that he built before this in Bow in East London. And they hosted parties for residents. They had great get-togethers and they learned a lot of lessons, which Erno then put into practice when he was building this one, which is Trellick Tower in West London. So you've got a pair, East London Balfron, West London Trellick. And the lessons that he learned from Balfron, he put into Trellick Tower. Now, Trellick Tower and Balfron Tower are both these incredible brutalist brutes. They are behemoths. They look like nothing else. And the reason they look so different is because Erno Goldfinger put the service tower down the side of the building with all the things like water and laundry and electrics. So it's separated from where people lived. Now, what's interesting about where Trellick is, it's kind of at the intersection between some posh parts of London and some not so posh parts of London. I was just trying to film around the other side of the building. There were two very shady looking people, but that's London for you, isn't it? But anyway, this is a building that's had a very interesting story, ups, downs. At some points, it was not loved. Now, of course, rich people live there. If you want to live there, you have to buy very expensive flats to live there. See how many police cars have turned up. So the story, of course, that you always read and you see in videos is that Trellick Tower was problematic. People hated brutalism. Now people love brutalism and rich people live there, though there's obviously some dodgy behavior still going on. But what's interesting as well is brutalism's place in the culture. So how many films, how many music videos can you think of that use brutalism as a backdrop? Blur have made music videos here. Gorillaz have made music videos here. Lots of grime artists, I don't know much about that, have made videos here. There's been lots of that kind of thing. We're going to do another video about the Barbican. There's so many music videos filmed there. Harry Styles, Kylie, the list is endless. So people kind of see brutalism in different ways, but it's more complex. From here, you can see what Erno Goldfinger was trying to do. He separated the service tower from the building, the apartments on the right-hand side, the service tower on the left. So you then end up with this incredible sculptural form. The windows, look at the windows on the service tower, up and down. They remind you of something like slits on a medieval castle. It's really strong, powerful, potent design. It's evoking the toughness of the Middle Ages, but putting it right here in modern day London. Now, I've been reading a lot about copyright on YouTube, and what I've deduced is that if I show something from my own book, Concrete Concept here, I can actually sue myself for copyright infringement. So that will be interesting, won't it? So let's have a look at this. This is Erno Goldfinger's Balfron Tower, which was built in 1965 before Trellick as a kind of prototype for Trellick Tower. Here we are. And Erno learned the lessons from living at the top of that building, which he took then onto building Trellick, which is here. You can see the tower is even more pronounced with an amazing glazed gallery up there. And the time that he spent living at the top of Balfron Tower with his wife was one of the inspirations that J.G. Ballard took when he wrote High Rise, which is an amazing book which I would recommend you read. You should also watch the film, which is chaotic and brilliant, and shows the kind of breakdown of life in the tower block, which sort of happened in a weird way. Ballard was right about a lot of things. Those dreams of utopia didn't always ring true. But Erno was a utopian, a communist, and he was very positive about the future. He wanted to create this luxury living for normal people. He also built an amazing house for himself, Willow Road in Hampstead, which raised the ire of Ian Fleming, which is why there is a baddie in the Bond universe called Goldfinger. We're in North Kensington here. Kensington and Chelsea is one of the most unequal boroughs in London, with very, very rich people living at the south end and less rich people at the north end. And that is the background to why there was social housing built here, the Cheltenham Estate and Trellick Tower. The Westway was also being built at the end of the 60s, a motorway that would go from London out to the west. There was the railway from Paddington out to Bristol. So lots of change going on here and lots of people moving through this area as well. So here it is in all its glory, Trellick Tower. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Some people love these buildings, some people hate this style. I know I was writing some journalism recently and the comments were almost entirely negative. A lot of us love brutalism, we love the aesthetic. What we should also think about was what they were trying to achieve here. Erno Goldfinger was a communist, Hungarian immigrant. He wanted to build a better world after the war. He wanted to make sure that normal people didn't have to live in slums, that they could live in flats that were meant for kings and queens of normal life. Trellick Tower is an amazing monument to an idea, to a style, and to a vision that Erno Goldfinger had. And now, of course, it is home for so many people. Lots of people live in this building. And if you ever see it from the Westway or you see it from the train, you can see the lights on. Well, what is brutalism? I want you all to look at the concrete with me. Can you see it? This is concrete. It's made obviously from sand, cement, water, and then they put the aggregate into it, the stones, and you can get different types of concrete. One of the reasons I love brutalism so much is because there's different varieties. You can see brutalist concrete with less stones, some with more stones, and it has a different character to it, a different feel. Even different parts of this building have slightly different aggregates, slightly different concrete, but they're trying to make it all of a piece, so it all looks similar. But it's powerful, right? It's not like a Victorian twee chocolate box house. It's tough stuff. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Fragments of the Future. I hope that you've enjoyed our look at Trellick Tower in West London. It's not always been the easiest one to film, but I'm going to show you life as it is. I love design and architecture videos, but I'm going to show you something that's a bit more rough, a bit more authentic, but also it's not like any of that poverty porn type stuff. We're going to show you the optimism, we're going to show you how people wanted to make a utopia, but we're also going to show you what the reality is like, and the reality is not always quite as exciting as it should be. Thank you for joining me. If you want to like this video, that would be great. Even better, if you want to subscribe, I would love that. And join me again for another episode of Fragments of the Future. My name is Christopher Beanman. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to London.